Every time you open the Add Card dialog in Home Assistant, you get the same thing. A wall of card type names. Tile, entities, glance, gauge, markdown, all named after internal building blocks, not after what you actually want to do. It's one of the most common pieces of feedback the HA team has ever received, and in 2026.6 they finally fixed it. I'm going to show you the new flow in a few minutes, and once you see it, you'll wonder why it ever worked the other way. This is Home Assistant 2026.6, a release that's heavy on dashboard improvements, a generally useful automation editor upgrade, and something for the IR remote fans in the audience that I've been waiting on for 2 releases. If this video helps you out, a like and subscribe really means a lot to me. It keeps the channel going and helps me keep making these for free. We'll cover the new card dialog, what's new in the automation editor, and the tile card upgrade that makes your weather setup actually useful. Let's start with one that affects pretty much every dashboard builder. Let's start with the Add Card interface. So I created a tutorial dashboard here. Let's edit the dashboard and I'm going to add a card, and now you see a new interface. We previously had only this interface. It's the by card interface now. This is showing all the type of cards that we have, but we now also have a by entity interface, which is actually pretty nice. So I can now, for instance, go to ground floor and go to office. Let's check one of my lights. Office front left, and check the light. And what you now see is already some variants of the light tile card. For instance, this one, if I open this one, now you see that I have my light card with some presets already here. That's pretty nice, and you can do it for virtually any card. And you can add other cards as well. For instance, let's choose weather, open weather map, and you see here variants of the weather card. For instance, this one, and what you see here is a forecast for the temperature. Actually, this was already added in the beta of the previous version, but it was pulled from there, so it never made the final version, and now it is in this 2026.6 version. There is another one. Let's go to weather again. And this is a forecast of the precipitation. Now let's edit this card. If I go to features, you see the temperature forecast feature, that's this one, and I can also choose to put it in line. So now it is next to the title, or I can put it in the bottom, and I can add another feature, the precipitation forecast, and now I have them both in the card. And the only thing is, if I now choose in line, it's not working because I only see one of the two. So maybe this is a bug still in this beta, or maybe it is something that has is just not possible. Okay, so let's remove this one. Save. So that is the weather. And there's also something added for the media player. So let's go to media player dot living room, for instance. You see all kinds of variants for that media player. Let me add this one, for example. And now I'm going to edit this, and there are some features added. If I go to features, I have the media player playback controls, and I can edit those playback controls. And now I can add some things here, for instance, play pause. And let's see, mute, that is new, mute. And there are two other new things, that is shuffle, and that is repeat. Let's remove mute to the right. So now I can also mute, shuffle and repeat my media player. Let's move over to automations. So I'm going to settings, going to automations and scenes, create an automation, create a new automation. And now I'm going to add a trigger here. Let's say occupancy detected. And I'm going to add a target. And if I now choose areas, for instance, office, you now see here office, and you see the number of entities that it will take into account. If I click on this, you see that the occupancy will be detected by my office entrance motion sensor or by my office motion sensor. That's really nice. So now you can see how many entities are taken into account for this trigger. Then we go to conditions. For instance, let's say sun. Test is the sun below or above the horizon. And what I now have here is I want to check the sun after sunset. And what you see is now it is at this moment is before sunset and after sunrise. And now you see this little red dot here. So that means that the condition is not met. So let's change it to after sunrise. And you see that the dot turns into green, which means that the condition is met. So when you're building automations, you can immediately see if your conditions are true or false. Really nice thing as well. Then another thing is also something that you can think, why didn't they do this before? If I go to edit in YAML for this, in this case, condition, I get this YAML here. Let's change something here. Something that a lot of people do wrong is we have a wrong indentation. And now you see that it is being flagged as a bad indentation. So you see immediately, I have a problem here. I pasted my code wrong or whatever. Or I typed it wrong. And now it is correct. It's also a very nice quality of life addition to this release. Then another thing, if I go to triggers, for instance, I now have this option add nodes. So I can add nodes. For instance, this is checking the occupancy. Please be aware that it also checks after sunrise in the condition, for instance. But it's not only there, it's also for conditions, add nodes, and it's also for actions. There's also an option add node. So these are some nice quality of life things added, and there's also things added to the documentation. For instance, the triggers documentation has changed. You can now search for a lot of triggers. For instance, well, let's say turn on, and I have options light turned on. I can click it. I get a lot of information for how this trigger actually works. So that is really nice. And it's not only for triggers, it is also, if I just remove this and I type conditions, the documentation of the conditions has also changed, and they are working currently also on actions. The documentation for actions is also changing. So this is going really well in the documentation. Last release there was a huge update to the documentation. Now we have another huge update to the documentation as well. Then the next thing that I want to show is, let's go to settings, and we don't save this. Then we go to apps. Here I have all my apps which were add-ons before, and now I can see actually if they are running or not. I'm not sure why this is saying unknown, but let's open one, for instance, MariaDB. And you see that this interface also changed. The controls are now on the right here. It looks a little bit nicer. So a nice design update as well. Then let's go to the energy dashboard. Let's edit it. And for instance, go to put Solar Edge produced energy, and now I have this option here, display name, so I can say, for instance, solar produced, save. Now I go back, I go to electricity, and now you will see here solar produced instead of that really long name. So that might help some people as well. And another thing is if I go to settings, devices and services, for instance to entities, which one should I take? Oh, well, hold downstairs. And now here is an option, add to. So I can click this and I can now immediately add this to, for instance, create new automation using hold downstairs as a trigger. Create a new automation using hold downstairs as a condition. Creating new automation using hold downstairs as an action. Create a new script using hold downstairs in an action. Well, let's add as an action and say add action, hold downstairs. What do I want? Turn on light, hold downstairs. And my new automation is created immediately with this action. Really nice. There are other places where you can use this too. For instance, if I go to devices and services and I go to devices and I'm going for a specific device, well, maybe we can choose hold downstairs again. Hold downstairs motion sensor. You see here all the related things, and here is also an add to button. So I can do here create new automation using hold downstairs motion sensor as a trigger, which makes sense. Or a scene. Let's take this one as a trigger. Add trigger. And now you see all the options for hold downstairs, which is quite a lot actually. Battery level changed for hold downstairs. Battery level cross threshold, illuminance changed, occupancy cleared, occupancy detected. Let's take this one. And now I have a trigger set up immediately. And it makes setting up automations a little bit easier. Then another thing is if you go to your account settings, there is no option anymore for the advanced mode. The advanced mode is gone. Well, it's not really gone, but it's changed by more options in places where it is needed, because nobody knew actually what advanced mode was, what it did. So it didn't really make sense. So they removed it, and now you have in the system in several places the option more options if there are more advanced options. And actually these are the things that I could show you in the dashboard. Now I have to show you something in the release notes because I don't have the devices here to show you. So I'm going to the release notes. And one of the important things here is infrared now also listens, because infrared was added 2 releases ago, but you could only send infrared signals. But now you can also receive infrared signals and act on it. Really nice thing that has been added. Another thing, and now I have to scroll a little bit, is the Z-Wave Smart Lock Credential Management. There was also credential management for Meta Smart Locks, but now it has been added for Z-Wave Smart Locks as well. So you can now add users to your Z-Wave Smart Locks. Also, very nice thing that has been added for people who have Z-Wave Smart Locks. And now we are already here at the new integrations. I'm not going over them one by one because you can watch this list yourself. I will put the link in the description. So if there is an integration that you can use, then you can find it in this list. Let's see if there is anything more. Of course, noteworthy improvements to existing integrations, and one of them is really nice. That's the Reolink battery cameras are no longer woken up when Home Assistant checks privacy mode status. That helps preserve battery life. Very nice. This Starkiller OG guy is always adding new things to the Reolink integration. Really cool. And another thing is the YouTube channels now expose a video count sensor. Not sure if you would use it. I can show it because I have it integrated in my system. Device and services. Okay, YouTube And now you see 284 videos. I created 284 videos. And I have 85,300 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Let's go back to the release notes. Again, this list, you can view it yourself. I don't think it makes sense to show everything. There are other noteworthy changes, also a list with changes that might be interesting for you. Again, you can read it yourself. I don't have to read it out loud. And then there is also, of course, only one thing that I really want to show is the backward incompatible changes. This is a list. It's really important. Always go through the backward incompatible changes before you update, so you are not surprised if something breaks your system. And one of the more important things here are the template entities. It was already in 2025.12 announced, but now from 2026.6 the legacy template platform syntax is been removed. So if you still use the legacy template platform syntax, your system will break, so make sure you update that code before you update to this Home Assistant version. So, back to where we started, the new add card dialog. It's not the flashiest thing in the changelog, but it's the one that changes how Home Assistant feels day to day. Starting from what do I want to control instead of what card type do I need is the right design direction, and it's exactly what the team said this is. The first step of something bigger. 2026.6 is a release that rewards the people who live in the UI. Dashboards are sharper, the automation editor is smarter, the tile card keeps earning its place as the most versatile building block in Home Assistant. If you've been sitting on an older version, this is a solid one to jump to. One honest note, a lot of the automation editor improvements are still gated behind the labs preview. You need to enable purpose-specific triggers and conditions in Settings, System, Labs to see some of the new quick link features. We're doing. If this video was helpful, a like and a subscribe helps the channel a lot. A huge thank you to everyone supporting the channel on Patreon, Ko-fi and as a paid YouTube channel member. You are the reason this content stays free and independent. If you'd like to join them, you can find all the links in the description below. Every single contribution generally makes a difference. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.